As for the competencies that Diana needs to develop, there are quite a few. I understand that Diana is a very hard worker and is very loyal from the case, but the case also talks about her being the ice maiden, and the fact that she follows rules and regulations and sticks to them. This is often called a trained incapacity. Diana has built somewhat of a mental model, as described on page 59, as a visual or relational image in her head. Her mental model is the tasks she needs to do to ensure that she reaches her financial target. Diana needs to work hard and be more flexible and not let this be a disadvantage. Also, looking at the five-factor model of personality, Diana needs to work on being more agreeableness and being open to new experiences to be more successful. Being more agreeable comes in on page 30 and refers to being more courteous, good-natured, empathetic, and caring. Diana really lacks in this department, as she really hasn't taken the step to develop such a bond with her employees. Also on page 31, the idea of being open to new experiences comes up. This refers to the extent to which people are imaginative, creative, curious, and aesthetically sensitive. At this point, Diana is very mundane and follows almost a monotonous routine. She needs to open up the possibilities of different approaches to management and let some creativity slide. Those three employees that were fired for trying out a new method, that is one instance where she could have perhaps allowed more creativity or imagination to thrive. Moreover, the idea of empathy is raised on page 65, and that is the idea for one to be more open to others' feelings, thoughts, and situations. Currently, Diana deals as somewhat of a dictator. Since she is so hell-bent on following rules, she's not being very empathetic to her employees and what they may be feeling. If she opens herself up to this competency, she can gain miles in creating a more positive work environment. She also needs to be able to accept goal feedback as raised on page 118. It is evident that our employees have a lot to say about her, yet she doesn't even listen to them. If she openly tried to hear out her faults, she may stand a better chance in making herself more promotable. All in all, there's clearly a lot Diana can do to make herself more promotable, and more importantly, a better restaurant manager. There's also a lot that the company can do in this situation. Clearly, the company needs to realize and find a better way to manage its intellectual capital. First, arising on page 6, intellectual capital covers the human knowledge in the organization. Diana is a great asset to the company because she knows the business so well. They need to invest in strategies to keep human capital like Diana in the company and not to lose them over decisions like this. The organization also needs to promote more of a knowledge management system. As stated on page 6 as well, the advantages of compiling and sharing information with employees ensures that the work is more productive and more efficient. I think the main problem here is that Diana does not know what she is doing wrong. By having a knowledge management system and showing her some of the best practices, the company can make the situation a bit better. After taking a look at these, I have some recommendations for the management of the company. First of all, they need to set up a task force internally that focuses on ensuring all managers receive feedback and better business practices on a usual basis. There should also be a grievance department where employees from all levels can voice their concern about another employee, a manager, or just a situation. There also needs to be an open line of communication between the restaurant managers and their employees. The district manager, the supervisor, and the regional director can make sure that all the parties are talking and receiving feedback from each other. Building such a line of communication in the core structure of the organization can make sure that every problem or issue is taken care of before it arises. Moreover, the company should put forth some sort of training program for managers considering promotion. The competencies that Diana needs to develop should be taught or relayed to her in some fashion. This ongoing training session should be based on the social learning theory, which comes in on page 68, and state that lots of learning occurs by observing others and copying what they do for positive outcomes and avoiding what they do for negative consequences. This includes behavior modeling, which is observing and modeling the behavior of others, learning behavior consequences, which is observing consequences that other people experience, and self-reinforcement, reinforcing our behavior with consequences within our control. This ongoing learning will promote a more open organization and avoid issues such as this case. Hopefully, with these recommendations, we can come to a better ending for this case. This actually sounds a lot like two kids fighting or a really, really bad teenage breakup. They're just gossiping and fighting over what's left, which is nothing. I think this speaks volumes about an organization and an individual when it comes to such a state. I think this isn't the first time an executive and an organization have parted ways, be it for corruption or even having an affair on the job. The disturbing part about this is how both parties dealt with the matter so publicly. The fact that they went to the press so often with their side of the story shows the childish behavior. In terms of Miss Rome, this really shows that she likes being in the limelight. The colorful and controversial marketing executive picture that the article paints seems to be pretty correct in this sense. As for Walmart, this is a lot about what they feel is important. As a consumer, I have lost a lot of respect for Walmart. Being a multinational company, they should adhere to certain standards even when dealing with overly eccentric people like Ms. Ron. The fact that Walmart made those emails public and even chose to sue back just for the heck of suing back shows great insecurity on Walmart's part. What I found to be most appalling though was how they settled the feud. So Ms. Rome dropped the lawsuit because of financial reasons, and Walmart chose to drop it as well, just because she dropped it. This shows to me that the lawsuit was bogus in the first place. I think that both Rome and Walmart need to take responsibility for their actions and apologize for starting such a circus in the media. Neither of them gained anything out of this, and in fact, both of them lost a lot of people's respect. As for what we learned, I think we learned not to work for Walmart. No, I'm just kidding. I think we learned not to be too greedy. The point is that if you're at a job, you shouldn't just leave just for the money. If it ain't broke, why fix it? The idea is that Miss Rome was certainly very happy at Chrysler. The fit was there. She was doing her job. She was getting what she wanted. So why leave for a job at Walmart? Also, I think we learned the importance of fit. At business school, they're constantly preaching to us about choosing an employer based on fit. I now understand the true meaning and importance of having culture and personality fit between the individual and the organization. Otherwise, it would just be torture if you're going to spend so many hours working for that employer. I think we also learned to always leave on good terms, not only in professional but in personal matters as well. I never want to go through something like this. It's not only humiliating but also very disrespectful to both parties. This incident also reaffirmed that nothing on the internet is private. Everything submitted can be traced or caught, so I guess everyone should be careful about what you're sharing online. I think it goes even more for if you're using company email. You need to be especially careful. All in all, this was a pretty hilarious series of events, although shaming for both parties. I almost feel bad for both Walmart and Miss Rome, but I'm also angered at how much time and how much resources they wasted by something like this. Yeah, this was really not a good matter for both parties, and I'm really disappointed in both of them. That's it. So I should leave my name at the end. My name is Feroz Qayyum, and my student number is 210-271-021, and that should be at the bottom of the screen as well.